Welcome to Simple English Speak. The boy who painted his dreams. David ran through the cobblestone streets of his small town. The evening air smelled of freshly baked bread from Lucian's bakery. But today he had no time to stop and breathe it in. His heart pounded in his chest. Is mother okay? The question repeated with every beat. When he reached home, he pushed the door open, breathless. His mother lay on the wooden bed near the window, bathed in the golden light of the setting sun. David rushed to her side. "Mother, are you all right?" She gave him a weak smile. "Don't worry, my dear. Just a little pain." But David knew these pains weren't little. His eyes welled up with tears. "Mother, where did this cancer come from? Why you?" His mother placed her frail hand on his cheek. "I don't know, my love. I just don't know." David felt as if the world had stolen something from him, his right to a normal life, free from suffering. But this 11-year-old boy was no ordinary child. Life had forced him to grow up too soon. He was the only child of the family. His father had passed away when he was just 7. Now, at 11, he had to take on the responsibilities of a grown man, working at Lucian's bakery, buying his mother's medicine, even preparing meals. Everything rested on his small shoulders. But one thing kept his heart alive: painting, where dreams came to life. In his free time, David would sit beside Diego, the town's old painter, watching his wrinkled hands move effortlessly across the canvas, creating worlds with just a few strokes. Diego often told him, "Painting isn't just about drawing what you see, David. It's about seeing what doesn't exist yet and bringing it to life." David dreamed of becoming a painter like Diego one day. But how? He could barely afford his mother's medicine. Dreams were for the wealthy, not for boys like him. Yet something inside him refused to give up. That strange feeling between despair and hope, the whisper that maybe, just maybe, it was still possible. The bitter goodbye. A year passed. In that time, David had become Diego's apprentice. Every evening, after working at the bakery, he would run to Diego's studio. He would hold a paintbrush, mix colors, and create. But just when life seemed to have settled, his mother's condition worsened. The doctor said she had only a 3-day left to live. That night, David sat beside her, holding her delicate hands. "Mother, you know I'll be a great painter one day, right?" She smiled weakly. "I know, my son. You were always meant for something great." David swallowed the lump in his throat. "Then promise me you'll watch over me, even if you're not here anymore." His mother exhaled softly. "Always." That night, for the last time, David held his mother close. Colors of Memory Life was never the same after that. The house was silent. No one was there to tell him bedtime stories or run their fingers through his hair. But David did not give up. He poured all his emotions into his paintings. He worked at the bakery during the day and painted at night. He was just a boy, but he carried a burden as heavy as a mountain. Years passed. David grew older. His paintings slowly gained recognition in the town. One day, at an exhibition showcasing his first major artwork, people gathered around a single painting, one of a woman with kind eyes, sitting in the golden evening light, smiling. It was his mother. David gazed at the painting from a distance. In his heart, he whispered, "Mother, you see me, don't you? You're proud of me, aren't you?" And maybe, just maybe, from somewhere beyond this world, a mother who was no longer there was still watching over her son. The end. Breathless, breathless. Definition: unable to breathe easily due to running, excitement, or fear. Example: after running to his house, David was breathless and could barely speak. Frail, frail. Definition: physically weak and delicate, often due to illness or old age. Example: his mother's frail hands trembled as she touched his face. Apprentice, apprentice. Definition: a person who learns a skill or trade by working under an experienced mentor. Example: David became an apprentice to the town's painter Diego. Whisper, whisper. Definition: to speak very softly, often so that only one person can hear. Example: David whispered, "Mother, you will always watch over me, right?" Recognition, recognition. Definition: the state of being acknowledged or becoming well known. Example: after years of hard work, David's paintings gained recognition in town. Exhale, exhale. Definition: to breathe out air from the lungs. Example: his mother exhaled softly before whispering her last words. Burden, burden. Definition: a heavy responsibility or duty that someone has to deal with. Example: at only 11 years old, David carried the burden of an entire family. Despair, despair. Definition: a feeling of hopelessness or the belief that nothing will get better. Example: between despair and hope, David chose to believe in his dreams. Swallow, swallow. Definition: to make food, drink, or even emotions move down the throat. Example: David swallowed the lump in his throat as he spoke to his mother. Gaze, gaze. Definition: to look at something for a long time with focus or emotion. Example: David gazed at the painting of his mother, lost in memories.